You're probably eating at least one food every day that looks healthy, but it's quietly slowing fat loss, stressing your liver, and taking a toll on your health. The good news, you don't have to go on a diet to fix it. You just need better versions of the foods you're already eating. So today, I'm giving you 10 simple swaps that melt fat faster by taking pressure off your system, one of which fixes a problem almost no one realizes that they have. Swap number 1. Let's start with one of the foods just about everyone eats: bread. Most white breads and even most whole wheat breads behave a lot like sugar once they hit your system. The grain has been ground so fine and stripped of its nutrients that it digests fast, spikes your blood sugar, and pushes your body straight into fat storage mode. Plus, many of the store-bought breads use enriched flour, preservatives, even seed oils, which we'll discuss in just a moment, to keep the texture of it very soft. That adds stress to your system without even giving you much nutrient in return. But sprouted grain bread works differently. When a grain is sprouted, it breaks down some of the starch naturally, and then it unlocks more of the nutrients. So as a result, it digests slower, keeps you full longer, and doesn't trigger the same blood sugar spike that you get from refined flour. When you're at the store, look for real sprouted grains on the label, not enriched flour or additives that you don't recognize. And if sprouted bread isn't available, a true whole grain wheat bread is your backup option. Not just whole wheat, whole grain wheat has to be the first ingredient. It's a simple upgrade that makes a big difference in how your body handles it. Swap 2. Next is pasta. Creates a very similar problem as bread. Once regular pasta is boiled, your body can break it down almost as fast as bread. So even a small serving sends in a rush of starch, spikes your blood sugar, puts your metabolism right back into fat storage mode. The fast digestion is also why a big bowl of pasta can leave you hungry again in a couple of hours. Your system burns through it quickly and then comes looking for more. But chickpea and lentil pastas work in a completely different way. They're made from whole legumes, not a refined flour. So you get the natural protein and the fiber all still intact. That slows down digestion, keeps your blood sugar steady, and helps you feel satisfied for much longer. And because they deliver more protein, they naturally keep cravings down, something regular pasta can't do. So when you're shopping for it, remember that the best versions usually have one ingredient: chickpeas or lentils, some kind of bean pasta. If it reads like a paragraph when you look at the ingredient label, skip it. Swap 3. One of the biggest upgrades you can make is simply changing the oil you cook with. Canola, soybean, corn, and other vegetable oils only entered the food supply in large amounts about 100 years ago. Since then, their use has exploded by more than 1,600%. During that same time frame, chronic illness in the United States rose more than 700%. That's not a coincidence. These oils are extremely high in linoleic acid. That is the unstable omega-6 fat that oxidizes really easily and breaks down into toxic byproducts once it hits heat. Some of those compounds are the same types found in cigarette smoke and car exhaust. And when you cook with these oils, your body doesn't just burn them off, it has to store them in your liver, in your fat, even in your brain. And the half-life of that stored linoleic acid is almost 2 years, meaning once it's in you, it can take up to 6 years to fully clear out of you. This is the problem I mentioned at the start of the video that most people suffer from, but have no idea it's even happening. Fortunately, avocado oil avoids all these problems. It's natural, it's stable, it's low in linoleic acid, it holds up under high heat without breaking down into those toxic compounds so that your liver and your hormones and your cells take on far less stress. And your metabolism gets a cleaner, faster burning fuel source to work with. When you buy it, check the label. It should be 100% avocado oil, no blends or vegetable oil mixes. It cooks the same, it tastes the same, but what it does inside your body is completely different. Swap 4. Next, what you put in your coffee matters just as much as the coffee itself, especially first in the morning when your metabolism is the most sensitive. Most creamers look harmless, but they're really just a mix of sugar, artificial sweeteners, industrial oils, and chemical thickeners. And the moment that combination hits your system, your body has no choice but to deal with it. The sugars, even the zero sugar sweeteners, push your insulin up fast. I mean, anytime insulin goes up, especially in the morning, your body flips out of fat burning mode straight into fat storage mode. Then the oils kick in. A lot of creamers rely on soybean or canola oil to create the silky texture, which comes with the same health risks that we just talked about. Not exactly the way you want to start your day. A better choice is heavy cream. It gives you actual cream without any fillers, and your body handles it without a big insulin reaction. If you want the coffee to taste a little sweeter, collagen with a touch of monk fruit does the job without shutting down fat burning mode, or maybe a little bit of stevia. The collagen is what I use in the mornings if I want to sweeten up my coffee. Same cup of coffee, just finally working with with your metabolism instead of against it. Swap 5. Now, flavored yogurt looks like a healthy choice on the outside, but inside, most of them behave a lot like dessert. Those fruit on the bottom blends and vanilla cups are usually packed with added sugars and concentrates. And the moment that they hit your system, especially early in the day, your insulin goes up and your body shifts straight into fat storage mode, not fat burning. What makes it even trickier is that companies market the yogurts as low fat, or they market them as high protein, so then people think they're doing something good for themselves when they're actually getting the same sugar spike they get from a pastry. Fortunately, plain Greek yogurt flips that back around. It gives you real protein, which keeps you feeling full without all the added sugars that keep your cravings alive. And when you add your own berries on top, you still get some of the sweetness, but with antioxidants and fiber that your body can actually use. Make sure if you're going to get yogurt, there's no added sweeteners and that it has active cultures. Organic would be best. Next, number 6, peanut butter should be one of the simplest foods in your kitchen, but most of the popular brands have turned it into something that your body doesn't recognize. Just take a look at the label sometime. You'll usually find added sugar, hydrogenated oils, and stabilizers mixed right in. The small scoop ends up acting like a sugar and seed oil combo that your body never asked for. The sugar keeps your insulin elevated, keeping you in fat storage mode, and the added oils increase inflammation and liver stress, which can both lead to all sorts of chronic disease. But a single ingredient nut butter fixes that immediately. When the jar simply says peanuts or almonds or cashew and nothing else, you're getting the natural fats the way that they exist in the food, not blended with fillers that work against your metabolism. And yeah, the oil separates on top, but that's the sign you bought the right one. Stir it once it's open, maybe store it in the fridge if you want, and enjoy the peanut butter the way it's supposed to be made. Now, I prefer organic. Valencia peanuts are a little lighter on molds and allergens. I do like blended nuts if you don't want a single source, but they can only be the nuts. Hazelnut, flax, almond, cashew. Next up, number 7, mayonnaise. Should be a simple mix of eggs, oil, and vinegar, but store-bought versions are really just jars of seed oil with flavor added. This is one of the worst that is in the side of your door right now. It means every time you spread it on a sandwich or mix it into a recipe, you are getting a big dose of the same unstable fats that we talked about earlier. The ones that inflame your cells, stress your liver, and slow down your metabolism. And because these oils break down so easily, your body ends up storing them, not burning them. It's a sneaky way that your food can nudge you towards fat gain without even overeating. So what should you do instead? Mayo made with avocado oil. You get the same creaminess, the same flavor. You can use it exactly the same ways that you always have, but the fat source is stable. It's clean. It's far easier on your liver and on your hormones. Note that when you check the label, the first ingredient should be avocado oil, not a blend, not a vegetable oil, not soybean or canola hiding in the fine print of the ingredient section. That's why you have to read the ingredients. It tastes the same, but your body handles it in a completely different way. Swap 8, let's go to chips. They're one of the easiest foods to overeat, not because of your lack of willpower, but because they're designed to keep you reaching into the bag. So that combo of crunchiness, saltiness, and starch fires up your brain fast, let alone the chemicals added to it that alter your brain. And before your stomach can even realize that food is coming in, you're already several handfuls deep. Not to mention that most chips are fried in seed oils, and a lot of them contain MSG, monosodium glutamate, which literally excites brain cells to death. No wonder you get excited to reach for a bag of chips. So now you've got 2 problems at one time. A food engineered to make you overeat and alter your brain chemistry, cooked in oils that push your body further into fat storage mode with every single bite. But cassava flour and grain-free chips give you a cleaner way to enjoy some of the same salty crunch if they're cooked in the right oil. Cassava is a simple root, not a grain. When it's cooked in a stable oil like avocado, you avoid the stack of additives and seed oils that usually rides along with the chips. The taste and the texture are almost identical, but it's much easier on your body. They oftentimes come with a higher dose of fiber and potassium, which is a needed nutrient in your body to help balance electrolytes. So just flip the bag over, make sure the oil is avocado or coconut, and that the ingredients look like the actual food before buying. Swap number 9 is milk. Milk feels like one of those foods that should be harmless. Most of us grew up drinking it. I know I did. I had a glass with every single meal, and it's still on just about every grocery list and every trip to the grocery store. But conventional dairy can bring a few problems most people never hear about. For one, a lot of store-bought milk comes from cows raised on a GMO-fed diet or treated with hormones or with antibiotics to keep the production of the milk high. And remember, whatever goes into the animal eventually makes its way to you. So your liver ends up dealing with far more than just milk. Then there's the protein itself. Most dairy in the United States meat contains a form of casein called A1 casein, which a lot of people just don't digest very well. For a lot of people can show up as inflammation, stuffy sinuses, flared up joints, irritation of the skin, or just feeling off when they eat dairy without knowing why. That's why a good alternative is to make sure you're getting your dairy organic and full fat, or try an alternative like almond or coconut instead. They give you the creaminess without the hormones, without the antibiotics, without the casein that sets so many people off. Just use it anywhere you'd use milk, smoothies, cooking, baking, even in your coffee. But here's the part to watch for. The sweetened versions behave more like flavored yogurts that we talked about earlier. They push your insulin up and they slip you right back into fat storage mode. So stick with unsweetened almond or coconut. Be very leery of oat because it almost always contains a rancid oil and sugars, and aim for the shortest ingredient list possible. If you are going to do regular dairy, there are some good casein-free options now that are organic that you could try out too. Finally, number 10. Now I know cereal feels like the quickest, easiest breakfast, but it is one of the fastest ways to shut down fat loss before the day even starts. Most cereals, even the ones that look healthy, are made from grains that have been processed so much that your body can break them down almost instantaneously, sending in a rush of sugar, spiking your insulin levels, and put you straight into fat storage mode first thing in the morning. Because it digests so fast, your hunger comes roaring back long before lunch. But eggs flip that completely. They give you protein and healthy fat, which keep your blood sugar steady, your cravings under control, and your metabolism in a much better place to actually burn fat. If eggs aren't your thing, a simple smoothie made with clean protein, like my collagen powder, and unsweetened almond or coconut milk works the same way. Both options take just as long as pouring a bowl of cereal, but they don't come with the blood sugar crash or the fat storage response that cereal brings with it. Now, if you want even more simple upgrades that make a difference, and you want to see how to take the foods you're already eating and move them from good to better to best, then watch my next video. It's called Top 5 Easy Food Swaps to Cut Thousands of Calories. It's been seen by more than 1 million people so far, and it is packed with even more practical swaps that you can start using today. I'll include a link to that here. Click it to watch it next, and I'll see you there.